Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen, and today we are making coconut cornbread. Here's what we need. Just going to quickly run through a few variations that I've got. Excuse me, I've got bad hay fever, probably about day 5. I'm not counting, but I am. Cornmeal, I'm using polenta. What else have we got? Orange essence. This is crept up again. This is twice in like 3 weeks. Never used it in my life. I'm using orange brandy. It's alright, it's imitation. There's no alcohol involved with that one. Candied lemon peel. When I looked up how to make it, I don't have all day, so read my note. Using 15 grams, not 50 grams. Edited. 15 grams of regular lemon peel, which I cut up. So basically all I did was like peeling a potato and then cut it up small. So we're still going to get that lemony taste, but it's not going to be that candied lemon. Okay, so grab yourself a loaf pan. Grease it, line it, and we want our oven on 180 so it can cook for half an hour. So grab a mixing bowl, a sifter, wooden spoon, and an electric mixer, all those ingredients, and I'll see you soon. So I'm not going to lie, I am a bit unorganised today. Change a bit to a lot unorganised. At least I've got all my ingredients weighed out and measured, and everything's good to go in that respect. So let's get started now. Now the good thing about when you make a recipe like this is you can sort of have something in the mixer while you're doing something else. And yes, I forgot my caster sugar. In my mind I grabbed it, but I was actually grabbing the baking powder. So tells you I'm having a shocker of a day, but it's got to get better, right? Okay, so that's our missing ingredient. Okay, so I'm going to get my mixing bowl down. I'm going to start everything in the mixer, and then I'm going to get the sifter and do the sifter. So we can do two steps at once. Okay, so I'm going to set my mixer up on this bench today, not the other bench, because I still have the slow cooker out from last night's dinner, which turned out excellent. That was the video that I shot yesterday. So I'll get the mixer ready. Lucky I've got an extra PowerPoint on this side of the kitchen. Kitchen might be small, but at least I'm not lacking in PowerPoints. Okay. So all that's going in the mixer at this stage is the caster sugar that I nearly forgot, but I wouldn't have because I do have to read my recipe when I'm cooking. That's coconut. Wow. Need glasses on today. Half a cup of caster sugar. And it was 225 grams of butter or margarine. I like to go for butter. And I'd suggest that we cut it up as well, otherwise it's just going to take all of day. I don't have all day. Some people might, but I don't. So I'm just going to quickly cut this up in half. You know when you're sort of trying to do 95 things at once and nothing wants to be done? Yeah, that's probably been about this week so far. We'll get there eventually, as I always say. Okie dokie. One more little thing to cut up. Alright, so whack that all in together. And you want to start the mixer off low because otherwise it's not going to be very happy. Even though I've had the butter out for a while, it's winter, it's the Blue Mountains, it's fine. Okay. At least if I have it on low, I can probably still talk over the top of it. So grab yourself another mixing bowl. In goes the cornmeal, aka polenta. Put your sieve over the top. You want to sift in that 175 grams of plain flour and 3 tablespoons of baking powder. This is why I say to have everything ready so that you just grab for it. This is where ramekins come in handy, or the other day I picked up these cool little bowls. The more the better. 3 tablespoons of baking powder is quite a lot, but baking powder will help it rise, so it isn't after all. And then our final thing to go through that sifter, I will blend that through first. So the good thing about this sieve is it's a big one. When you can see your mixer starting to have it all on board, turn it up a bit. Blend this in. It's very hard to see under this light, and I really do apologise the fact that I keep using white bowls. Maybe one day when I'm rich and famous I'll get purple bowls, obviously Violet Vixen. I'd love to do a range of stuff, but I can't afford it. One day. Alright. When that's all mixed in beautifully, you want a pinch of salt. So I just get it out of that. That's a nice big pinch. And there was one more thing that had to go in with that. And that is the coconut. Beautiful. Give that all a good mix in. Excellent. Now our butter and sugar is starting to cream well, which is excellent. You can smell that coconut in there, that's excellent. Once our butter and sugar mixture is starting to look light and fluffy, which it is actually, get your caraway seeds. You want half a teaspoon, in they go. Putting them in first so they get mixed in well. And then we are going to start and blend in our flour mixture. For this step I suggest a soup spoon and just start adding it gradually. I'll just put my handy pink spatula aside for a moment. The good thing about this recipe is once you've got all your ingredients sorted out, it's fairly go, 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 blend, mix, and so on. That's why I do like making bread type recipes. So now that all that's in, we are going to grab our 150 mils of milk, which for people that normally measure in cups and stuff, just under 2/3 of a cup. In that goes. Now, from now on, we actually want to try and mix it ourselves, otherwise we're going to end up with a very thick dough. So, get this out, because it actually says to blend it in, not to mix it in. So, I just wanted to get it started with that. Best way to make less mess is to eject your beaters. Get them out. Alright, so now as you can see we've got a bit of a blending going on here. We've still got eggs to put in and other stuff, but we've got a few dry spots here. For some reason my mixer doesn't quite reach to the bottom, but you know what, it does the job. Okay, so now that I can start, I want to try and get a bit of liquid in. One egg we're not using because it's for the top, and I've probably explained what the cross means. It doesn't mean it's a bad egg, it means it's a use first egg. Next time I cook something with eggs, I will actually show you how I store my eggs in the fridge. It's not some weird thing, it's just a container that I brought that holds 14 eggs instead of 12. And it's actually pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually whip each egg before it goes in. I've had this a couple of times where if I don't do this, the yolk actually doesn't get incorporated in. Mix it after each one. Maybe the handy pink spatula is not the go for this. Oh shit. Sometimes I don't know my own strength, do I? Well, I got no shell in it. I am getting better with cracking eggs. When you do it 3 days a week making hamburgers, you should be getting good at it. I'm not really mixing it as good as I should. I'm just getting it sort of incorporated in, just so we know where we're at. And I didn't mix that one. Don't worry. All good. Let's get the last one in. I'll leave the fork in so I remember this time. And the reason I use the cup is because sometimes you might drop a shell in there or you might get a bad egg. Shell's not very good, bad egg's worse. So. Alright, let me just try and wipe up some of my mess. When you start adding things into a mixer, you never have a clean bench. Alright, let's get this mixed in. Now the good news is we've nearly got everything in here. So what we're seeing is basically our bread. So we've got a bit of coconut flavouring, we've got caraway seeds, which we very rarely use. Now we're going to add some fruity stuff. Alright. That's looking really nice and wet and mixed. Essences and candied beer. Well, I was supposed to grease the tray with the lard, which I haven't done, so we're not using lard. I've used butter and baking paper. Alright, so as explained, that's my peel. If you've got candied lemon peel, great, use it. If not, don't worry about it. Now, I can't actually do drops of these because they don't have droppers on them. So, precise. There's 2 drops. Doesn't hurt to have a bit of extra vanilla in there. Lemon. If we have a bit more lemon, we're actually just going to make up for the lack of the peel. Okay. That's very messy. Have to wipe that bottle. Okay, and our orange brandy, non-alcoholic. Because I could not get orange essence. Found some online, but it's a bit too late. By the time it gets delivered, it's over. And the funny thing is, if I go and buy something like a specialty, I'll never use it again. That happens. Then you spend your time trying to look for recipes where you use things up, which is what I always try and do anyway. And you never find anything. So, best to use what I've already got. Things like essences don't go off, even though they say they've got best before dates. But they're kept in a little tub in the pantry. This is all my essences and food colouring. So I had to get a backup vanilla essence just in case yesterday. There we go. Alright. So I can put the lard back in the freezer because that's where I keep it, because I'm not greasing the pan with it. So when we've got that ready, we're going to fill the tin with it, which I've had sat on top of the oven so it's gotten nice and warm, which is probably a good thing. Like most things, I like to sit them on a baking tray when they go in the oven. So set that on that. Put this in. When you're tipping it in, just make sure that you haven't got any dry spots. Because even though I've been mixing it around, I don't have the strength of a kitchen mixer. Even one that doesn't reach the bottom. Alright, in we go. In we go. Got a bit more to go in. Okay, that's actually looking pretty interesting. And with my allergies, I can't smell a lot of things as well. So, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, I don't know. Alright, spread that out. Beautiful. Just grab a spoon because we want the rest of that off the spatula. I don't think it needs to be too flat. Just as long as it's all in there. Now, that last egg, get my cup back. Perfect, look at that. Where's my cup? Ah, good. I didn't put it in the sink. Okay. Do that a bit lightly. Splash the egg off to the side. Give that a whip. Find your brush. That's good. The thing I like about this new brush is I can find it easier than the old one. Alright, so once we brush this, this is going in the oven for half an hour. Perfect. Which is about the time when I want to try and leave to go to work. Try. Alright, don't use the whole egg, it's just more to get it in. Perfect. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Catch you soon. Okay, half an hour, I've pulled it out of the oven. Just grab a toothpick and give it a couple of stabs. Delicious. Give it a while, lift it out onto a wire rack, let it cool, or serve it warm if you want. Butter, jam, however. Alright. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I'm going to catch you next time.